Let's see about getting this thing started. Transition then. All right. Welcome. All right. So those of you who were present for the ZBrush live stream yesterday, this is the character that I started based off of my own sketch, based on the theme Celtic mythology. So this is MacLear, Manana MacLear. He is the sea god in Celtic mythology. Sorry, I've got breakfast too. So I've got like, I've got a yogurt with granola. Delicious. All right. So, post-stream yesterday, I didn't do a whole lot, but I did go through and play with some of these things. Like I played with adding in like some values, just to make different pieces stand out. So get like the skin so that it's separated from the chainmail around the neck. Getting the beard to stand out from all that. Getting the cape to stand out from other pieces, just to make things feel like they're a little bit more separated. And then can't remember what else I did post stream. I played with some of the arm anatomy just a little bit. I'm going to set my timer for an hour and a half. Hey Siri, set a 90-minute timer.
Your timer is set for 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Beautiful. I really want to make sure that I don't stream for too long today. Because it's Saturday. I want to be able to enjoy Saturday. Okay, I want to come over here. I'm going to put some things into folders now. So what I want to do is I'm going to take the helmet and put it into a folder with the with this little neck cape. I'm not sure what it's called. So let's go ahead and let's select the helmet. I'm going to say helmet. Grab that helmet skirt piece thing there and just turn that off. Now if we were to do this without the helmet, I would want to add some little tuft of hair coming off the top. So maybe what I'll do is I'll add let's add a little tuft of hair. But let's do it in this layer. So we've got the beard. Getting IMM primitives here. And then we'll say, grab that color too. Real simple. Then I'll do something to kind of vary it up at some point, but yeah, this is kind of the idea that I would have if I were to do hair, is just do kind of like a little fluff coming out the top there. And grab this. I'm going to hold control, just kind of pull this off, make it its own thing. Shrink it down some. Make sure it's its own poly group. There we go, we got a little bit of hair kind of coming out there. So that'll work kind of nicely if we wanted hair. Now that hair is not going to fit with the helmet on, so when we have the helmet on, we'd have to turn the hair off, but you know, at least we have hair now. Let's say split hidden. We're going to come down here and we'll say hair. That way it doesn't look as boring while we're looking at it. Let's see, Damien Standard, let's come into stroke. We'll say lazy mouse, pull this up quite a bit here. This, get something like that. Give him a little bit of wrinkles there on the brow, just to be able to kind of add some character. Oops, that's a little bit too heavy. I want it to come so that it gets a little bit closer to the other wrinkle as it comes up. Let's try. Dirty. There we go. Something like that looks much better. All right. I feel like I gotta give him an eyeball. Well, I mean 2 eyeballs, but you know. This will help to kind of inform the structure of that part of the face, which I definitely have to go through and modify. Let's go ahead and kind of, well, let's not tilt the eye yet. Geometry, mirror and weld. That way we have our eyes in there. We'll go ahead and rename it. Okay, so bring that out. Bring this out. Then we can bring the inside corner of the eye in a little bit. This is just helpful. It helps to bring solidity to the character. It helps to bring a little bit more form and structure. Helps us to make better sense of them. What I'm going to do, let's go back to the eyes. I'm going to, let's fill it with a material that'll stay really, really white. MRGB, fill object. Because I want him to feel like he's got some power, you know? So it just make him feel like he's something else. Turn on smooth shaded preview there. The not smooth shaded preview, the dynamic subdivisions there. Check that out a little bit. Let's use the slice curve. And all this is going to do is add different polygroups. So you see I've got a red polygroup and a green polygroup now. Yeah, let's actually do it. Let's do it more like this. Gets that line up a little bit higher. Gets me a little bit cleaner of a shape going around instead of having like a little bit of a turn under as much, you know, having as much of a turn under. Gives me a little bit better of a shape. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll do one up here just to kind of follow this edge. Okay. Cool. So now what we can do, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to say Control-Shift-D, hide the old one, geometry, modify topology, delete hidden, and let's go ahead and let's just use ZRemesher to get this so that it's something, you know, nicer. What we can do is we can go ahead and we can add some slices to help guide the ZRemesher process. Okay. Do some guidelines up like that, more or less. We'll say mirror and weld, just so we get that same grouping on the other side. Oh, I didn't like that. Yeah, let's do this on this side instead. I mean, technically you'd want it to be on the other side, so we'll have to mirror and then mirror and weld it. That way we don't have like weird intersections here. That should be good. That should give us the edge flow that we need, more or less. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to, we got a couple of things that we can do. I'm going to go first to stroke. I'm going to go to curve functions, and we got this frame mesh. I want it to do the border. I don't need creased edges, but I do need border and polygroups. I'm going to hit frame mesh, and you see how that goes through and adds these curves in there. Really nice, super helpful. So now underneath ZRemesher, I'm going to say keep groups. I'm going to just leave everything else the same for right now, and I'm just going to hit ZRemesher. You should hopefully go through and take into account those lines and give us a pretty decent edge flow. Not too bad. Not too bad. It's definitely much more dense than I want. But yeah, I mean, the edge flow is not too bad. There's this little problem spot up here, which I would want to go through and fix, but that's not a hard thing to do. Yeah, let's try taking the amount down quite a bit. So the target polygon count, instead of being 5, let's take it down to 1. Numlock down to 1. And then hit Z remesher. I want to take it down even further. Let's say 0.2. The thing that I'm trying to look for is as clean of an edge flow as I can get, and as low of an edge flow as I can get. Because if I or low of a polygon count as I can get, because that'll allow me to have a smoother form, a smoother shape, and something that's easier to control. There's some problem spots like right through here and here and here. This got tight, but this is still good, so we can still keep this. Okay, there are a couple of things that I need to clean up, but really this will work pretty good. This will work pretty good. Okay, this spot right here. Let's start with this spot since it's on the front. Okay, it looks like I've got yeah, it's a quad. Okay. So what I want to do, let's come over here. Let's start with our Z modeler. Let's go ahead and delete. And I just want this point to go all the way through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, actually let's keep those there. We'll insert an edge loop and then we'll bridge these together. And then we just need to either, yeah, let's just get rid of this edge loop right here. It's not a big deal. So we'll get rid of this edge loop and then we'll bridge these two together. So there we go. That fixes that little point. And we need to even out these points and kind of cozy them out a little bit, but you know, we'll get on that. Otherwise, these things are looking pretty golden. This is looking nice. We'll have to adjust for some of like the pixel, like not pixel, the topology density, as there's a lot of there are a lot of edges in here that I don't think we really need, and it looks like we might have some interesting points up here that might be kind of like double faces or something. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see later. Let's say stitch to midpoint. There we go. Get that going nicely. Now these two need to be fixed, so we're going to get rid of that and that. Let's go ahead and pull that down. Bridge, bridge. Insert. Actually, let's just say instead of insert, we'll come over here to Z remesh, modify topology, mirror and weld. There we go. Stitch those together. Stitch those together. Okay, let's see that. So that's much better. And we just got to do something similar down here. So we got to say delete, delete, delete. We got to insert, and then we can go ahead and we can bridge. Super quick, super easy. Love it. Thank you, Ilustrando Sudia. Sugia. How are you doing? This is definitely coming along So very quickly and easily we're able to get a decent mesh for this piece. Now I want to make sure that these points are as even as I can make them within reasonable time. And that's the whole idea, is to really just kind of have something nice and something very usable. Having the even topology is helpful because I'll be using micromesh later on to be able to, or micropoly I guess is what we're calling it now, to be able to get the chainmail effect in here. And I want to go through and actually design a chainmail instead of using something that's a default off-the-shelf chainmail. I want to design something that feels like it belongs under the ocean, right? So I get to have a little bit of fun with that, since he is the god of the sea. But in order for those pieces to turn out correctly, these polygons need to be as spaced as evenly as possible, so that we can get the I lost it. So we don't have to worry about the pieces of the chainmail distorting as much. Okay, let's go back to the startup material on this because it's a little bit easier to read. Something like that, and then we can go through and we can adjust this so that it fits the head better. Let's do this. Just gonna kind of push that up, pull that out. Just kind of even that out some. Yeah, just a bunch of like back and forth, trying to make sure that everything's working nicely, flowing nicely. Learning a lot from today's live. Good. I usually try to keep it pretty simple and just kind of chilling, just using my basic workflows. But if there are things that I do or things that you have questions on, let me know. We'll try to answer those. Try to address your questions. I like to have fun, and then I feel like it's fun also to help other people enjoy and understand. keep it like that. I'm liking how it's looking. And technically, I don't think that that chainmail would have this sort of flow to it. I think that it would have like just kind of a straight tube sort of flow to it, and then up here at the top, I think you would probably still get, you know, kind of like a connection, kind of like this. But this sort of point right here, I don't know. It's really kind of a tricky spot. So I'm trying to think about that as I move forward. Just to be able to really think if I'm getting this in a way that's going to get me the results that I want. But so far it's looking pretty good. I'm liking it. Okay. And then these arms are meant to be scale mail. So we're going to do something similar with the arms that we did with the head just now. I'm going to take these, I'm going to Control Shift D. Instead of keeping everything, let's just go ahead and we'll just Control Shift A, delete hidden. Go ahead and slice that. And we'll slice that so we get the oops. Let's see about, yeah, okay, that one worked. We'll just come down here, we'll slice that one right there. Okay, so we'll select this, say delete hidden, mirror and weld. Okay. So this is the basic shape. This is the basic sleeve for our arm. What we're going to do is we're going to use Z-Remesher. It's similar sort of idea. In fact, what we can do, let's go ahead, just like we did with the neck, we can go ahead and we can just kind of place a few slices through, and that'll help to guide the Z-Remesher process. All right, something like that. We'll hit 7 to be able to stroke those poly groups in the borders, and then we'll say keep groups, and then I'm going to say target polygon count to 0.1. Adapt, sure, that's fine. Z-Remesher, I'm gonna hold Alt and hit Z-Remesher, and this should get me what I'm looking for. The other thing I want to make sure that I do is make sure that Dynamesh is turned off. Well, I mean, it got the right idea in there. I do want it to be more dense though, so maybe what I'll do is instead of having keep groups on, let's just go ahead and hit Z-Remesher. I didn't hold Alt this time. I'm hoping, and, you know, maybe I need to go through and add some intermediate loops in there just to make my cuts more square. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. Hola, Alicia. ¿Cómo te va? Let's see if this Z-Remesher decides to finish or not. It seems like it might have gotten stuck, which is kind of a pain. Hello. Oh, goodness. Good night. There we go. I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. Okay, so this is much better. We didn't need the groups. We just needed to make sure that we had the topology in there. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make sure that this topology is a little bit more even. Right now I've got these long rectangles down here, and we got some square shapes up here, but we want to make sure that everything's pretty square across the board and that the squares are pretty even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say insert edge loop right there, insert one right there, we'll get rid of that one. Come down, we'll insert one right here, and one right. Hello, Governor. How you doing, Prashant? Let me see. I think what I might do, let's just kind of smooth this out. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I've never done chainmail before on a character, so this is kind of experimental for me, but should be fun nonetheless. Okay, just kind of even this out some so that it's cozier. I think I kind of want to add in one more edge loop in here. I feel like there's too much of a gap between some of these edge loops. So let's get this so that it's a little bit more evened out. Okay. And then we'll fit it to the arm. Yeah, it's good to see you too. What have you been up to? It's Saturday. Should I jump onto the to the Discord chat? I should do that. It should be like a you know, when I stream, maybe I'll stream like once or twice a month on on a Saturday, just for a couple hours, and then just have the and then have like the chat going or something like that. So anybody who's part of the Patreon crowd can jump into that. Let me see. Let's jump into it. Okay, let's see. Discord. Let's do that. I'll turn on this desktop sound too. That way, if anybody's on here that's from the Patreon group, feel free to come over and join me on voice chat. Oh, I better turn up the volume for myself, otherwise I'm not going to be able to hear if anybody jumps on. Yeah. Okay. So this is turning out cool. I'm trying to see. Hey, Prashant.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. What have you been up
Good. Just modeling.
Oh yeah, modeling, yeah.
I like this guy you're making. Oh yeah, that thing.
Now, remind me, there was a wasn't there a work in progress that you'd posted on here somewhere? Or was it somebody else that had posted that?
What did I post?
Oh no, it wasn't you. It was Jose. It was doing like the Witcher and the vampire dude and stuff like that.
I made a hand and a sword.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, the robot
uh,
hand and stuff.
mhm.
That was fun.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of exploring some hard surface stuff in ZBrush. Kind of fun.
Sweet. Yeah, hard surface
Yeah,
stuff is awesome.
yeah. Did you try the new brush for this guy? The where you mask out an area and it creates a like an armor type of thing.
Oh no, I haven't upgraded my ZBrush yet.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are saying that it's good now and that it's
yeah, it's good now. Yeah, it's like they had its cool features, but they sneaked in like a couple UI improvements that caught everybody by surprise, myself included, with the brush sizing thing. Because literally, like the S and size is what I press the most when I sculpt, and they changed the function of that.
yeah.
Now I have to like retrain my muscle memory. Arguably they're newer, like hold and air. Like you hold down S and you like air slide it. That could be faster, but I think people may have said they want the old one back, where you have to hold down S and then you put the pen down and slide it.
Yeah, I think that sounds more control, like easier to control.
Yeah, because there's like resistance on your tablet, right?
Yeah, and then it's like if you're just if you're just kind of like air sliding your thing, it's like, what if you didn't mean to go through and change your brush size, and then you totally lose, like what if you're doing like IMM pieces and you're going through and you just air slide your stylus, and then it's like you lose the size of what your brush was, and if you can't remember what it is, then you're just totally shot, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and it wasn't like very fluid either. Like when you like quickly air sliding and you're going back, like sometimes the menu doesn't go off, so it's like you gotta move your pen away and come back, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It wasn't. I guess it wasn't fully like vetted out. Maybe to change. But we're all good now.
Those poor guys at Pixelogic having to go through and cater to so many different people.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do a good job. Like, I think, like I'm a pretty heavy Blender user, but I think I'll always prefer ZBrush over Blender for sculpting.
Right.
It just like feels really good, and the performance, obviously.
For sure. Yeah, it's like this is always kind of a fun and challenging time with the with the character design, because it's like, okay, what do I do next?
Oh, yeah. I've been doing like kind of daily exercises too, and that's kind of a thing
Yeah,
I'm hoping to continue.
that's pretty cool.
Like, it's interesting because it's like a speed sculpt. I'm not a huge fan of speed sculpts because you tend to go fast and kind of miss a few things,
Right.
but then you also get a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
So I try to keep that in mind when I do that. But
Yeah, speed sculpts are kind of an interesting thing, because it's like you do get the mileage, and that's nice, but at the same time it's like, let's get rid of that. At the same time, it's not always, and I mean it's like sketching in your sketchbook sort of thing. You know, it's not it's not a big deal. It's not something that you have to publish, or you have to be accountable to somebody for having done it. It's It's just something that you do
Mhm.
to be able to practice something or to be able to get an idea out or
Hmm.
like this guy.
Nice.
But yeah, it's one of those things that like I totally understand when people are like, yeah, I can't stand speed sculpts and everything. It's like there's no point to it, and it's like, yeah, I can understand the frustration, but there is a point, and there's a time and there's a place. I mean, it's like not everything should be a speed sculpt, and not everything should be considered slow if it's going slower than a 3-hour speed sculpt. It's like I think that's one of the hard things that people see with the practice of a speed sculpt or with the competitions like the ZBrush Sculpt Off, etc., where it's like people are going through and making these these sculpts that I just thought of an easier way that I can do this. Let's just do it like this. So delete that, and we'll delete that, delete. Okay. Yeah, anyway, where it's like you're going through and your bridge edges, you're trying to make this this thing. I mean, I think that the thing about speed sculpts in the industry is that it's going through and it's kind of creating this idea that if you can create something like that in a certain amount of time, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing that for your job.
Hmm.
And so that's kind of the reason why a lot of people seem to have a lot more issue with it. At least from what I gather, what I've seen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, it also, I guess the reason I'm kind of doing it kind of gives me some speed. And then one nice thing about sculpting kind of quickly is just that you're not afraid to make a mistake, because if you make a mistake, you just like, scrap it, redo it, kind of deal. Because you kind of lose that attachment to your art. Because I don't know about you, but when I spend like a couple of weeks on a project, I'm like, yeah, this is my baby. I'm trying to nurture it, just to let it grow on its own. I'm like, kind of more attached to it.
this thing has wings. It needs to fly.
Whereas the speed guy was like, nah, like half the time I'm not even saved the project at the end of it. Like, it's like if it crashes, it's like, meh, next time.
Yeah. On the other hand, if you get something that's cool and it's worth keeping, you can go through and you can spend a couple extra weeks on it and be like, yeah, this is great. I like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. It's nice because it really just allows your brain to just create without processing too much and without taking yourself too seriously. I just think that it becomes the thing that I see is that it seems like it becomes more of a problem for people when they're like, look at what I did in this amount of time, and I'm great, so whatever. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, did it really take you that amount of time? Did it I don't know.
Yeah. Imagine like one of the old artists like Van Gogh or Da Vinci saying, the Mona Lisa only took me a couple of days, it's just quick sketch. That'd be pretty funny.
Look at this sculpture. It only took me 3 months. It was beautiful. Speed sculpt. Very beautiful. You
Starry
really want
night.
more
Oh, I
for
just
Palace.
slipped and fell.
Yeah.
uh,
I think I'm going to like recycle hands from a different project. I'm like, this isn't meant to be like a huge, long, drawn out project. This is meant to be something, you know, fast-ish.
mm,
So it might as well, right?
yeah.
Let me see. Where is he at? He is right there.
On the other hand, too, like, you know, people can always tell that this is a project that someone spent time on, and this is a project someone didn't spend time on, although still good. Like, so I don't know. I'm not, you know, I have a lot of followers, but you know, I always get more, more feedback when I post something that I spend a lot of time on, because it kind of shows a little bit. But
Yeah.
as opposed to like a quick one. I was also inspired by your 3D self on Instagram to create my avatar on Discord.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you? That's still your photo, right? That's still your photo that you have as your.
No. The what I have on Discord is a 3D Toon Me.
I'm trying to go through and see if I can find a.
They're like my user icon.
Oh, there we go. I see it. There we go. Nice, dude.
I kept it pretty sneaky because it's very similar to my photos that people notice it like later. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah. You sneaky dude.
Nice. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. That's great. I like that. I like it.
Yeah, I'm in a couple of other like art servers, and everybody's got like, all the 2D guys. They always have like 2D art or versions of themselves or some kind of thing. I'm like, I need something too. I'm feeling left out.
I am artist. Hear me, art. Yeah,
I
it's
NFT'd myself.
fun. You what?
I NFT'd myself.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh man, NFTs. That's the other news.
Yeah, it's really
you keep
interesting
it.
'cause it's such a
Yeah.
polarizing topic with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know what to think of it yet. When I understand it, I'll let you know.
yeah, I don't understand the whole cryptocurrency world, but I do kind of understand. Okay, so it's like cryptocurrency. Really, it's not any different from any other kind of currency. Your credit cards, your bank checks, and even the dollar bill. I mean, it's all just hypothetical.
Assigned value. Yeah.
So I mean, it's
Yep.
It's not like you're really what in the world is going on there? I guess I just gotta do it edge by edge, but I'm not sure what happened to my to my beautiful topology.
Oh no.
Good grief. Oh well, it'll get fixed. But yeah, it's like because hypothetically the dollar bill represents a dollar's worth in gold, right? And I
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what cryptocurrency is supposed to tie into, if it ties into anything at all. It's really just kind of a digital, like an I
Well,
know you note. I don't know.
yeah. Didn't they take the gold standard out though, like
I
in
think
the
so.
70s or something like that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not. So I don't even know if the dollar's assigned to anything. Yeah. Money is funny. Funny money.
Funny money.
Yeah. Funny money. Yeah, that's what we should call cryptocurrency.
I don't need no funny money.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw like a couple of the big wigs in 3D get into crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, did you see Beeple he's killing it?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Like,
I was talking about this with one of my buddies yesterday. Well, I mean, I've been talking with him about it for like a long time now, but we're just talking about how it's like some of this artwork that's selling for millions of dollars, it's total garbage.
yeah.
It's like, why can't people who create stuff that's actually, of caliber get the pay and the money that they
Mm-hmm.
deserve? It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. But at the same time, you could argue that all art is subjective.
At the same time,
Yeah.
you can still totally crash on those people that have crappy art because it's crappy.
Yeah. I mean, that's legit. Like, even like Picasso in his like crazy phase, like he was like an art prodigy when he was a kid. So whatever he makes, like it's got purpose, the meaning behind it. Like
Wait, who is this?
Picasso.
Oh, Picasso.
Like, yeah. Like, I mean, his like abstract stuff, like seemingly crazy, has meaning behind it. Because I think when he was like 13, he went to like art school, and he was like the best artist.
The dude has like this beautiful, realistic skill.
Yeah.
And everything, and then he goes and totally changes it up and does something extremely abstract, and
Yeah.
makes people like, what the heck?
Yeah. Yeah, but the reason that blew up is because Picasso, and they trust him to like make meaningful things. But I think the thing now is like this like random people and like making art, like people who've never done art before, like make a spinny cube and be like, oh, I'm selling this for $20,000.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Pay me.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see it being like aggravating for some people, like, who's been in the industry, kind of cubed up in a little tiny cube, working their butts up 20 years, and see somebody like killing it for almost like no work at all.
Yeah. Well, it's like, what was it? Was it people that did that one like $64 million?
Yeah, $69 million.
It's like it
One
was a
JPEG
collage of photos, and it was like,
Yep.
What the heck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the argument for that is like he's done that 5,000 days. Took him 5,000 days to make that. But yeah, it's also people, and people are like famous, and it's a yeah. I feel like it's like a fame thing too. Like, you're a famous person, you like be able to make more money. Yeah.
This is obviously a topic that is near and dear to my heart. I'm very passionate.
I'm kind of interested to see where it all goes. Like,
Sure.
Obviously, it's not like sustainable. Like,
Well, I don't know. Maybe it is though. It's one of those things that.
Yeah. I'm curious to see where it evolves to, I guess.
What was that?
I'm curious to see what it'll evolve to. Like maybe because there's people using like blockchain technology to like authenticate art. Like for example, there's like social media websites that are based on that, so that so when you post some art, nobody can repost it because it belongs to you. You posted it. Like it's like almost like a copyright thing.
Right.
Uh, so interesting applications.
Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting though, and it is something that I'm curious to see how it'll progress or digress. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things that like I'm cautiously trying to inch my way into it because if it takes off and if it pushes me forward into a world where I have everything that I need to take care of my family, to do provide for the future, things like that, then dang, I love it.
Right?
If not, then it's like and it's like you've gone through and essentially provided for nothing. It's like it's like, what are you thinking, kid?
Yeah, I guess the bottom line is like if it takes off and it's the way of the future, whatever, you have to, if everybody will eventually use, NFTs and cryptocurrency, you gotta adapt to it early adapt cells,
Right.
just make the most of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, so I've been
I'd be very interested to see if it has people making like 3D things. Like, okay, right now, like 3D guys, they're making like GIFs and images, right?
Sure.
Like, imagine making like 3D assets, asset itself. That'd be cool.
Right. Yeah, so it's like, this is my model, and if you use my model, like, this is, you pay me, It's like... Yeah.
Or you get to have that model like in 3D, like maybe in a VR space. Or a lot of people think that like just like what's that movie, Ready Player One, like in a VR world that people will have custom assets that are NFTs that you'll be able to trade. You want new skin, it's a custom skin, limited edition.
Ooh, that's cool. That's really cool. Dude, we've got to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we should do. Is like we should make that like no spare time challenge 1 month, and we'll maybe I'll see if I can make a base mesh. I'll finish out a base mesh, and then I'll make that available on Patreon. And then anybody there can go through and make their own skin for the character, modify it if they need to with it. Dude, that's a cool idea. Got to write down that you said it too. Because, it's a good idea. Might as well make sure that you at least get credit for it.
All my statements have blockchain behind it. Just kidding. That'd be funny. I hope not. Because I say some funny things.
Dude, but that's a killer idea. These hands are super terrible now. I thought I was using my move brush. That's why it was looking weird when I was touching it. Is because it was the inflate brush. I'm definitely gonna have to go through and do a lot of like control on like a control pass on this hand, because that's not quite getting the right shape that I want. But whatever.
Is it a feature that if you like max out the size of the inflate brush, the whole mesh inflates?
If you minimize it,
Oh,
yeah. So like if I go through inflate, bring it all the way down to 1. Or maybe it is maybe it is maxing it out. Yeah, it is maxing it out. Yeah, I'm like
interesting.
not even touching the mesh, and it's still inflating the whole thing. Okay, it was the move topological that I was like, you know, if you bring it all the way down to 1, all the way down to the smallest draw size, then you can just move the whole mesh.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's right. Yeah, it's kind of messy, but whatever. It's kind of fun too. Just like little things like that. They're just kind of funny. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Because then it becomes kind of a pain. It's like if I'm trying to move just a single point and it's really close to another point, and I turn my move topological down to the single point draw size, and all of a sudden, oh, I'm moving the whole mesh. Dang it! But whatever. I'm trying to decide what would be cooler, for him to have like a glove, or for him to have like an actual hand. Gotta open up my reference and see. It looks like I see a lot of illustrations of, you know, just barehanded. And it's like, that's just so not safe. Like, don't they know? Swords cause damage.
Yeah, man. I don't even go paintballing without gloves. Go sword fighting. Dang.
Yeah. Give him a little bit of brown there just to kind of break it up some. Yeah, this is gonna take some fun. Lately I've been going through, like, any of these sorts of processes, I've been going through and just doing them, like, not even on the stream, because it's like, nobody wants to see me go through and just do the tedious work of, like, moving points just like a little bit here and there. It's like, it's so dumb. But whatever, I'll only be on for another half hour anyway. Smells like waffles or pancakes or something. that topology is all messed up. Forget it. I'm not using these hands. I've got to use a different hand. Oh my gosh. That's so messed up.
Hmm.
Go.
You add things to like your lightbox or in ZBrush,
Occasionally.
the tools
Not
you like
super
to
often,
use.
though.
Mm.
Not super often. I feel like one of the things that I will run into is I don't know. I don't like having to go through every time I update ZBrush to like have to update other things too. Like,
Yeah.
let's go down here. I know that I've got layers on here, so I might as well get rid of those. Okay, grab just the hands. We'll say geometry, delete higher. Oh, actually, before that, I'll say. Yeah, let's do this. We'll say cage, so that way it gets the full. Oh, that's kind of messed up though. We'll just do it like this. No big deal. Delete higher.
Mm.
There we go. Delete hidden. Okay, so now we got our hands.
It's a good looking hand.
Yeah, not too bad. It comes in handy.
But
What I don't know is why I got like a weird, like part of it got left behind when I was dragging it just now. I don't know if somehow part of it got masked or what happened, but something like that. We'll shrink it down some. Yes. I think with some finagling, I can get this to feel like it's his hands. Yeah, we could do this. RGB color fill object. Oh, not that. Fill object. I don't have any kind of texture applied, right? Sweet. But I can have a texture. Whoa! Turn that off.
do you keep track of like the size, like of a character in the ZBrush world?
Not really. Once I start going through and kind of transitioning a character over into Maya, that's when I typically try to gauge scale and things like that. Mostly because it's a little bit trickier here inside of ZBrush.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
How about you?
Like I do this thing where I try to keep it smaller than the biggest brush size. I mean, it doesn't always go that way, but
yeah, it's definitely a lot bigger than my biggest brush size.
I mean, around that size is actually where I keep it. Like, not completely the full brush size. I know you can go bigger if you turn off dynamic, but well, what's 7? But um, yeah.
It's kind
Anyway,
of tricky for sure, but
yeah.
I gotta think because like this forearm needs a little bit of a twist. Actually,
Gonna twist his arm.
well, the forearm needs a little bit of twist right now. Right now, like the anatomy of it's kind of going as if the hands were kind of more straightforward, but I have the palms facing more down, and so I need to kind of rotate the wrist a little bit. But I don't think that I want to do that by twisting the armor. I don't know. Let's try doing it like this.
Nice.
Trying to give it a little bit of a twist here and pull it. Not a huge amount of twist, but just a little bit. And then I think I want to give him like some sort of bracers or something, so that he has like a wrist guard thing. This guy's going to be a lot safer in battle than his human counterparts. It's like where were their mothers when they were growing up? Don't they know? I'm trying to decide if I like the size of the hands. I feel like I kind of do. I feel like it makes him feel a little bit stronger and more powerful because he's got the bigger hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna keep it for right now. Bigger hands.
This is the kind of thing that slows me down. You can be as fast as Flash in the UI, but if you can't make decisions fast, they're gonna be as slow as your decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's just a matter of like making a temporary decision, like a decision for now sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's also a decision, right? You're like, you have to know, oh yeah, I can change that later, so I'll come back to it and then move on.
Yeah. And especially since there's no actual body underneath this guy kind of dictating, okay, so this is what he looks like altogether. It's like, nah, I'm really kind of just focusing on the waist up sort of thing. So it's like what else do I need to add? What else does he need? What else would he look like? What else, whatever. What? I need to give this thing a little bit of a thickness. This is one of my favorite little features with the newer ZBrush versions, is being able to add this thickness. 0.015. Yeah, that'll work.
Is that dynamic, or is that you apply it and
yeah,
then
it's dynamic.
it
And
stays?
you can apply it,
Oh.
but yeah, it's dynamic for right now.
That is cool.
Yeah, I love it so much.
I haven't actually used it yet.
Yeah, super simple, super easy to use, and you can control too. Like, I mean, you probably noticed that I went through and changed my smooth subdivisions, so you can make it smoother or less smooth. You can even take the smoothness all the way down to 0, so it's got no subdivisions to it, but it still has that thickness preview. And then the other thing you can do is you can change the offset, so you can make it so that it's going to the outside of where the actual plane is, or you can make it so it's going to the inside of where that plane actually is. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool feature. Very useful.
Yeah, it's
Like,
total
I use it all the time in like other programs. They have like modifiers that do that, and it's nice to have it here.
Yeah, it's nice. It's so nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very, 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 very nice. Okay, I do feel like I want this to be... I'm trying to think if I want this to be on top of everything up here. Probably. Kind of makes sense to me. I'll do it. It's getting kind of messy. We'll fix it. Smooth it out and then we can lift it up. Let's go ahead and turn that off. There we go. Pull that up. Yeah, it's actually how I have like the thickness for the cape and for the plates and everything else too. I just go ahead and turn on dynamic and then just add a little bit of thickness.
Nice. Oh man, I am so gonna use this.
It's so helpful. And I'll go ahead and I'll set the offset on the shirt to -100. That way it's going purely inward. I don't have to worry about it creating issues for me. It's so exciting. I love seeing a character start to come together. It's so exciting.
Yeah, the best part. Do you ever like? I did this thing where I like play around with the character like an action figure inside a ZBrush.
Hello, my name
Kind of
is...
silly. Yeah.
Oh, my name is... Nice to meet you.
Yeah, just that. It's like just like that. Yeah, it's just.
No, I don't know.
It's pretty fun. Man, okay, I'm weird. Gotta have fun with it.
Oh yeah.
Sarah mixed a lot.
I've got a tiny
Sorry.
head and a big body.
And a cone head.
You want to know what my head looks like underneath this? Woo! I really do kind of like that hair, though. I think that's kind of a fun.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
I gotta save this, or else I'm not gonna be able to keep it clear. Let me see. Got about 20 more minutes, I think.
It's always fun to model in like little details that only you know it's there, but nobody else will ever see it.
Well, it's like this is the detail that I go through and turn off if I'm going into the turning the helmet on too. So it's like,
yeah, I get it. I gotta start doing more of that. Like, it's kind of Easter eggs in a model.
yeah, it certainly can be. You know what? I want to try something with the eyes. I want to see if it'll let me get kind of like a pupil sort of look if I just go ahead and kind of pull back a section of the
Oh, it's so funny because I'm just doing the eye just like that too. I'm sculpting along just a character, but it's very meta.
I'm just gonna try taking this, just kind of shove it back just a little bit just to get that indentation. There we go. Of course, now the eyes feel like they're a little bit crossed, so maybe I need to... Oh, X. Angle them out about 5 degrees. That looks better. Oh man, this guy looks absolutely diabolical now. I mean, he's like... I am coming for you.
Jeez. You need to get one of those like voice modulators.
Yeah, like what? Oh shoot! I dropped his name. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of YouTubers with it. Like you press a
Yeah.
button and it's pretty fun.
It's super bizarre. It's a super strange thing. I'm not gonna lie, but it's pretty stinking cool too.
Oh, have you seen that app? The what's it called? Like Wombo.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? It's so
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I
Like
tried playing with it too. It's so funny.
you have?
Yeah.
Is it free or is it like a
Yeah, it's a
paid
free
thing?
app. It doesn't give you. I mean, obviously, the thing comes with a watermark and which isn't a huge deal. I mean, but
I have to
and
play around
the
with
other
it.
thing too that I've seen people kind of struggle with is that their like Instagram won't let them post the videos with the music, so they have to mute it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
whatever. It's still kind of funny. Like, I went through and I did,
So
I did
ridiculous,
a
yeah.
video of a picture of my son
Oh gosh.
singing Smash Mouth.
Yeah, I'm more interested in doing some of the 3D stuff, like the characters I've made. Put one of those guys in it, and because I saw a couple people. I don't know if you know Crystal Bretz. She's like a
Yes.
modeler, I think. She was at DNAG and now she's at Digital Domain, but I follow her. She did like one of her like orc characters and it was like ridiculous.
Yeah, it's funny. It's definitely
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
But yeah. Trying to decide if I like having that lip kind of poking out there. I think I like it. Makes him feel a little bit more complete. I mean, it doesn't mesh with the anatomy at all. You look at it just like that, and he's like all bottom lip. But I mean, with the beard and mustache and everything, it looks fun, So
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think it just
Yeah,
adds a
that's
nice
cool
way to
looking
be able to kind
character.
of break up the hair from the mustache and beard. So I'll keep it. I'll keep it. I'm trying to decide now. It's like, yeah, I just don't even know. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna pretend to know. I just don't even know. Let me grab one of these. Make that bracer. Say taper. My wife and I watched this really funny movie yesterday. It had Jennifer Garner and what was it called? Yes Day.
Oh Oh yeah, I saw the trailer for it. Like, I know the premise. Was it good?
It was so funny. And it's
Uh,
funny because like films like that really kind of more than anything they just give you the opportunity to know what would happen if you were to have a yes day, and it's like it's all the worst case scenarios, but
mhm.
but you can't help but just enjoy it and learn from it. You know, it's like, yeah, don't do a yes day.
Yeah,
But it's funny.
yeah, I'll go watch it. Um, yeah, it reminded me of like Yes Man. I don't know if saw like I love that movie. That's good.
What's that
Jim
one?
Carrey. It's when he says yes to everything.
Who's in it? Do you remember?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet that one's pretty good then.
Yeah, he starts doing like he starts doing everything. Like, airplane lessons, Korean lessons, like the beds where you jump on it and the wine glass doesn't tip over. Yes. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like he used to be the opposite, and then like he had something happen, and yeah. Anyway, I'm always about it. I gotta check it out. Oh, and I saw that Justice League is coming out. Excited for that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I know the last couple have been a bit disappointing, but I always enjoy them because even if the story is bad, the VFX I'll enjoy.
Yeah, it's always
Here's my
tricky with movies like that, where especially where they have such a huge fan base and everything. It's like they go through, they make the movie for the sake of having, like being able to keep their fan base, appeased and excited and interested, involved, everything like that. And then they go through and they make the movie and it bombs and everybody hates it. But then they go to the second one and then they go to the third one and then they go to the
he just wants it out. Yeah.
The only one of those movies that I've seen so far is Wonder Woman.
Oh gosh, that's like the worst.
Yeah, I really didn't like it. I really didn't like it. And it's like I love superhero movies. I think they're just super fun, and they're a great way to be able to kind of, I don't know, just enjoy this idea of somebody with this moral compass, these supernatural powers, and they're going and trying to do everything that they can to just be, to just help other people, right? And then it's like, I don't know, it was just a disappointment.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. You know me, I was looking forward to it. I even did a model of Wonder Woman. But I was like, oh, I was kind of disappointed. But so I was a fan of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It's like the premise was good. Like it could have been great, but they in my mind, they screwed up the action. Like the action is like very shaky cam, kind of cheap action, and then they screwed up the ending of the story, or like halfway through the story just fell out.
Yeah. So Mandibles, we're talking about Wonder Woman. Kind of. It's kind of transmorphed over from Yes Day to Yes Man to Justice League to
talking about movies.
Yeah. Now we're on Wonder Woman, and it's like Wonder Woman. I feel like Gal Gadot she's beautiful. She's a very pretty face, but I don't feel like she's a great actress. And so like I feel like I don't know. I feel like the movie was poorly cast. I like Chris Pine. Chris Pine's good. I really like him as an actor. And I feel like he did a good job in that movie. But I feel like he's really the only one. and he's not the one that people are going to the movie to see, unless it's the girlfriend who's going with the guy who's going to the movie to see it. Anyway, but I don't know. It's really kind of an interesting thing. And so, like, for me, when Captain Marvel came out, I was like, okay, this is what Wonder Woman ought to have been.
Oh yeah.
Like, that was awesome.
It was funny. It was like action packed.
The action, and then the story was strong, and then the acting was strong, and it's like you felt like there was reason behind the characters' actions, and there was just so much that just felt so wrong with Wonder Woman that I just felt like was completely eradicated by by what happened with Captain Marvel. I was like, man, if they could have written Wonder Woman and cast Wonder Woman in a similar way to how Captain Marvel was done, that would have been so much better.
Yep, I agree.
You don't think Brie Larson can do action? If you watch it again, she telegraphs everything. So what do you mean that she telegraphs everything? I'm not sure that I understand that one. She
telegraphs everything. Telegraph.
Okay. So she like foreshadows, reacts before the move connects. I'll have to watch for that. Either way, I mean, it's not something that stood out to me, so.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, so it's like she's like pre-reacting. She's pre-acting to the to whatever happens.
It's like one of those old school action shows. It's like you hear them and the sound effect comes in, and then like 2 minutes later the actor falls down or something like that. But yeah. A lot of actors though are not great at action. I'll be honest.
Well, action's hard. It's one of those
Yeah.
things like you're trying to get emotion in, you're trying to make things feel natural, but it's like none of these people have ever experienced war or fighting an alien race or things like that. And so and a lot of times, especially if they're going through and having to fight, people dressed in green or blue so that they can get the digital doubles in there for whatever they're actually fighting in the movie. It's like they're having to use their imagination a ton, and so it's not as convincing sometimes as it could be. But so grain of salt.
Oh yeah, here's my guess. Well, I don't know if you've seen Justice League. Man of Steel, I like too.
What was it?
But the first Wonder Woman and Man of Steel, I kind of enjoyed as far as the DC movies. But
I did like Man of Steel.
my guess is that there's gonna be some kind of time travel in the next Justice League movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because in the first Justice League movie, there was a scene where Batman's sitting there and he gets like a vision of Flash. And I think that's actually Flash from Justice League 3 going back in time. But yeah, we'll see. And there will be an evil Superman. That's the other one.
Like Bizarro or just evil
Yeah. Like Bizarro.
That'd be interesting. My kids are watching. I don't know what it's called. It's some sort of Justice League Princess Warriors or whatever. I can't remember what it is that they watch, but it's something with like the superheroes kind of in their younger days or whatever, and it's supposed to be for teeny boppers or whatever, but she loves it, and she's like, Bizarro can change forms, and it's like, oh, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Penalty box in the writer's room suggesting time travel gets you in the box and you have to sit out 3 movies. Oh no. Sometimes it's done well. Sometimes it's done well. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah, like the Avengers, right? Endgame is like, okay, how are they gonna do it? How are they gonna do it? What's the
was
easiest
cool.
one? Time travel. What's
That
the next
was
one?
cool. And
We don't know.
I feel like it felt like it worked in a way that it wasn't a cop out. But I do feel like sometimes I think you're absolutely right, where it's like it's almost like time travel is just kind of like the cop out answer to how are we going to make this work. You know?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed Endgame because I saw all 23 in the theater, and then it kind of because the time travel part brought all the previous movies together and like did like almost like a, I don't know, like a montage version. Like
Right.
it kind of sounds awful, but yeah, I don't know. It gave some oomph to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's. I can totally get where you're coming from, though, Mandibles. Like, I feel like it does kind of feel like a crutch sometimes, where it's like we've got to expand the story somehow, and time travel always works, right? Yeah. We used it in the last film, so it definitely works. You know, so it's one of those things that's it does seem to be more of a crutch sometimes than anything, but. But when it's done well, it's done really well. Or, you know.
Like Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Or Lost in Time. Or no. Somewhere in Time. What's that one called with Christopher Reeves? I can't remember. It's an older film.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's an older film. Obviously, I mean, Christopher Reeves is dead, but, you know, whatever.
The Death of Superman.
And the rebirth of the new one.
I actually enjoy the animated series, movies of DC. They're pretty fun.
Yeah.
Kind of, they're more closer to the comics than the movies.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Nice.
Yeah, I liked that. I love Doctor Strange. He's actually one of my favorites of the Avengers. Because he's witty. He's well cast. He was well written, and I feel like Benedict Cumberbatch does an awesome job. I saw that whenever I die too much in video games. Oh, I say that whenever. I got you to say that, not saw. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I think I'm going to call this good for right now.
Don't marvel.
Go move on with the day. Go read with the kids and make bookmarks or something. Reading the second Harry Potter book, so we're working our way through. They're enjoying it, so it's really fun. Well, yeah. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out for a little bit. Thanks for jumping on, Prashant. It's always fun to chat with people.
Fun.
And yeah, we'll have to do this again sometime. And I'll see. Keep your eye out on Instagram. I'll probably post the announcements in my stories. If you guys want to be able to see that again, and then I'll probably continue working on this guy maybe another day during the week next week, and then I'll be on the ZBrush live stream next Friday. So hope you guys have fun, and thanks for coming and chatting about all the randomness, and I'll see
Yeah.
you guys next time.